Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. Yes, FFG is in fact our BFFs, and we do love them quite a bit. They are like our cousins. Maybe we'll have a duel against them at some point in the future. Who knows? But for now, we are very friendly. Thank you for joining me today on this lovely Thursday. As you can see, I've got with me studio head Tim Gerritsen.
Hello.
Wave to the lovely people here. If you can't hear either of us well, just let us know and we'll be able to correct it. But you're coming through pretty clear on my mic here, so I think you're good to go. So today's kind of a special stream. Instead of the typical gameplay, we're going to be answering a couple of your questions, going to be talking a little bit to Tim here and doing kind of an FAQ because a lot of new information has come out. We're also going to have some reveals for some new content within the game today. We have decided we are going to reveal the at least the initial characters who are going to be within the hero packs. We're not going to be showing their cards, but we will tell you who those expansion heroes are going to be today, and we'll kind of be able to do that as we continue to answer some questions. So hopefully, yeah, we'll be able to do that. Yes, I got rid of the blue line at the bottom of the overlay. It's 2018, and we're going minimalist, Tim. That's the aesthetic. Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah, totally. So we decided to get rid of that. We just shaved that bottom line. We're still waiting on some of the other overlays that we have designed. We're going to get those approved and get those out. But for now, something simple just so we can keep our branding on the page, but make it a little bit easier to see the screen for everybody here today. So how you doing, Tim? Tell me about it.
I'm doing all right. I'm getting over a cold, so
Okay.
bear with me.
You want to lean in a little bit closer to the mic there? I couldn't pick you up.
Absolutely.
There we go. Look at that. Do your best NPR voice for me here. I'm here with Ira Glass over here, studio head. Awesome. So thank you again for joining us real quick here.
I have low volume level, I'm told.
Oh, really? Well, let me see if I can fix this real
Let's see if
quick.
we can.
Can you talk for me real quick?
Testing 1, 2, 3.
How's
Testing.
that? How's that, folks? Let me know again if you're having trouble, and we can fix that real quick. But yeah, that should be a bit of an improvement. So yeah, it's good to hear you're doing well, Tim. Yeah.
A lot of travel lately
Yeah.
for you as well.
Yeah, it's been a lot of travel for both of us.
More up. They
Yeah,
say.
I'm getting you. Let's see if we can get you.
Yes, I
Wow.
do go to 11.
How
Great
about
company.
that? You know, I've got different cords plugged in for each of these mics, and I have a feeling the one on the second mic here is just a little bit better, and that's why we've been having these audio troubles with it, but hopefully this is an improvement here.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of travel for both of us. So I was over in San Francisco, and it's kind of the West Coast doing some press tour, and then I ended at PAX South, and you were in...
I was in Paris.
Yeah, you were showing the game off to
Paris.
some people in lovely Paris. How did that go? How was meeting with the press?
It was really nice. I got to meet with the great folks over at Asmodee Digital and got to talk to them about what we're doing to promote and eventually get the game out into public hands. I met with some great press from all around Europe, and it was quite the entertaining time.
Yeah.
Long trip, but well worth it.
That's awesome. That's so good to hear. Yeah, so that's great news. And like I said, we revealed quite a bit to people on the press, and now here we are going to reveal some of that information to you guys, and that's why we're handling today as kind of a Q&A session.
Yeah.
We're going to be asking some of the stuff we've seen on the forums. We're going to be talking a little bit about the game and how we're going to be moving forward from there. So as always, everything you're going to see today is a work in progress, subject to approval from licensing, subject to changes from people on everybody throughout the scale, developers, publishers, everything like that. But it's a work in progress as always.
And subject to whim.
Yeah, subject to our whim as well as we decide to. Yeah, of course, folks. We're not going to be dropping the ban hammer at willy-nilly on these things, but we are going to make some card changes, and they'll continue to change too.
Yes.
I came back and saw that some allies had new abilities, some things had changed, and hopefully we'll be able to show those throughout gameplay.
Some effects as well.
Yeah, we'll see some stuff too. Okay, so, the other thing that I wanted to mention, the first stream with you and me, it seems like so many months ago, but only last month, that has been archived here on Twitch on the video on demand, so those who missed that can go back and find those and watch that. We're going to be uploading some of the other archives over the coming weeks. The infrastructure on Twitch for uploading an entire hour-long video is not the best in the world, so we are... It's going to take some time. Please be patient with us as we continue to do that. I'm throwing some editing on theirs too so that the video doesn't continue too long or cut off at the wrong time. But those will be uploaded as we continue on here. So that's the housekeeping for today. So Tim, the first thing that I really wanted to ask you about, and the number one thing on people's mind, is the release date.
Yeah.
So when is this game going into early access?
Well, I mean, that's just it. We're still working on the game. It is a work in progress. It is something we're going to come out into early access. I know people would love to get their hands on it. We would love to get you to get your hands on it. The thing is, there's early access ready, and I think then there's Fantasy Flight Games early access ready. And while I think the game is probably early access ready, it is not where to the standard we would like to see it before we put it out into people's hands. So we've stated Q1. We haven't announced the specific date yet. We will be doing that in the coming weeks, but right now we're just not ready to make that statement. The first quarter is January, February, March. I would say, definitely we will be out in early access during that first quarter. But I can tell you right now, it's not going to be January. It's probably not going to be February. But a specific date will be forthcoming. And I just ask people to have patience because we want to make sure that first experience people have is a good one. We're still refining things. We're still changing things. We're still fixing bugs. I think the initial early access card set is mostly there. I mean, other than some of the word changes and some of the language. But we want to make sure that the experience people have right out of the gate is as polished and refined as possible. So we will make an announcement of a specific date, but we're just not ready to make that announcement now.
Yeah, some eagle-eyed people had noticed that the game started populating the coming soon on Steam, and people were like, "Oh no, is this releasing today?" and things like that. So sorry for giving you guys that heart attack, but that was an error in the back end of Steam. We've since corrected that. But like you said, there's going to be a full release date announced pretty soon here,
and we will tell you ahead of time. It won't just be, "Hey everybody, it's been out for 2 hours, go get it."
Yeah,
we will let you know.
Yes, as nice as it would be to turn around and have that announced at some point, we'll let you know in the future so that you can get it pre-downloaded, get it all set, and hopefully add it to your wish list ahead of time so that you can be ready once the game comes out. So you kind of mentioned the difference between early access ready and Fantasy Flight early access ready, right? So I guess I would really like to hear from you, what does early access mean for not only this game, but us as a studio, and what's our philosophy toward early access?
So early access, it's kind of all over the map. I don't know if you've seen, if people have seen a lot of early access games. Hopefully some of the folks who are watching on Twitch have played different early access games. It can really be the Wild West, and it can be as simple as somebody gets their first build up and running, a minimum viable product, they throw it out there, and then they build it with the audience. Sometimes that works out well. Sometimes it's a mess. And we want players, regardless of the fact that this is an unfinished game, there are features that are yet to be delivered when we do go early access. We still want people to have a really refined and quality experience. We want it to be polished. There will still be some bugs, I'm sure. It's inescapable in an early access process. But we want players to really feel like this is a quality product, that we put thought into it, that we put real production value into it, and that they're getting their money's worth. Because you are taking a bet when you dive into an early access game. I'm an early access follower, and I feel like we want players to have the best possible experience when they're playing the game.
Yeah, that's good information, and I'm glad to hear that from you. I think that the wonderful benefit of early access is that there's a wide swath of what you can put out there, right? But that also means that each company's or each studio's definition for what early access means and what it allows is different, right?
Yeah, and I think for us, early access is still going to be early access. You are getting access to an unfinished game, but we want it to feel more like a polished, refined game, something that is worth spending your money on, and not just, "Hey guys, here's the first thing we popped out. Let's get your hands on it."
Yeah, absolutely. So when is this game going to go into full release then?
Well, we're not defining a final full release date, because once we go into early access, there is going to be that interaction between us and the audience. We want players to really get a chance to play with the game, give us feedback, and incorporate that feedback. We will be looking at the data, we will be looking at people's feedback, and we will be adjusting the game accordingly. But unlike a lot of games, I think a lot of games right now are infamous for being in early access for years and years on end. We have no desire to do that. We want to be more I would say a few months. So we've been saying 3 to 5 months. I think that's still accurate. We just don't want to be in a situation where people are just endlessly waiting, because there's things we want to test in that early access period. We want to get people playing the co-op. We want to get feedback from that, get that started at some point during early access, get some feedback, get that refined, and then go live once that's solid. I think that's really our plan at this point.
So to summarize for everybody in the chat and for everybody who's watching now might have joined us, it looks like we are looking at early access within Q1, so that's going to be January, February, March, sometime during that period. And then we're going to be looking at early access for about 3 to 5 months after that. That's the current plan, right?
That is the current plan, yes.
Okay, so that's the information we have on release dates for you guys today. Let's talk a little bit about some of the card changes. Yesterday we went through the deck builder. We got to see a couple of cards in detail, and we talked a little bit about how those cards have changed. Why have we seen cards fluctuate within the deck builder in and out? What's going on with that?
Sure. So to reiterate, this is not a one-for-one translation of the tabletop game. So certain things are changing. We did modify the rules. We did modify the actions. We modified Sauron. And because of that, we're taking steps in some ways that are different from what's going on in the tabletop game. And we're in that stage now where we do a lot of play testing internally, and we are encountering things that we do like, that we don't like, and so we're adjusting cards based on what we're seeing in that play test. So the names may change, the stats may change. So whoever's keeping the database online, you're going to stay very busy, because we will change numbers. We will change items from time to time. So, during playtest, for instance, we just recently made it so that you go first instead of Sauron. That impacted some of the gameplay. So we're going to change some of the data that is underneath these cards in order to make them feel more playable and enjoyable. So we've already noticed certain stats, that we want to adjust. That will be ongoing. So until we actually get it out in your hands, everything is malleable. So I would say don't get too married to the stuff until it actually goes live. So, we want to give you hints and peeks and show stuff. And after we announce the actual release date into early access, I think, we'll be able to show much more final content, so people won't just be surprised when they get it. But there will be changes coming down the pike nearly from day to day, week to week.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to see a lot more changes keep on coming down, not only on these streams, but even during early access, correct?
Absolutely. And then during early access, when we start getting people's feedback and we can look at the data better, we will still be making adjustments. We built it so that it is data-driven. All of the stats on the cards are things that we can tweak and monitor. We want to do that carefully, though, and not just end up spamming people with
absolutely
crazy number fluctuations. It's going to be more refining and just zeroing in.
Awesome. Good news. So let's talk a little bit about the release platforms we're going to be seeing on both PC and Mac. Is that correct?
So yeah, everybody's wondering what are the platforms, and I think in our initial trailer we definitely give you the hint of where our grand strategic plan is. But initially the game is going to be on PC, on Mac, on Steam. So that release date game will be on Mac and on PC. We have PC and Mac builds internally that we test on. We down the road we are looking at mobile platforms. We haven't defined what the extent of that is or what the roadmap of that is, but that is down the road. So that's something we'll talk about, I think, probably more once we're into final release stage on PC and Mac. We'll start talking about what our concrete plans are for mobile. But at the time being, yes, we are definitely looking at iOS and Android down the road, but for sure, PC and Mac to begin with. One thing I can say, when we do go multi-platform, the goal is you have one Asmodee.net account, and so that data is the same across all platforms.
Okay.
So it'll be free to play. You'll be able to download it if you played on Mac, if you played on PC, and then down the road when we add Android and iOS, you'll be able to play on those platforms as well and share the same account back and forth.
Okay, and that's why we have that online play, right? Correct?
That is absolutely why.
Why we're requiring that online connection. Okay, cool. Good news. Well, that's kind of a big news drop, I think, here. So, yeah, we will continue to talk about that on the oncoming in the future. So most of our viewers here that are our regulars are familiar with the tabletop game, but maybe for those who aren't, let's talk a little bit about why there is no PvP included in this game?
Sure. So we've gotten a lot of questions about that. I think, there's some people with the mindset of, oh, if it's not PvP, there's no way you can succeed. And I don't get that, to be honest. I mean, the tabletop game from the get-go was a co-op and single-player effort and enjoyed much, much success. And in the PC world, I would compare it to, like, let's say if I'm playing World of Warcraft, which is an online MMORPG, or I'm sitting at home playing Witcher. They're both fantastic experiences. They're just different experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this is an area that's untapped that we're really trying to explore, doing co-op and single-player narrative card games. Also I think thematically in The Lord of the Rings, it would be really weird if it's Aragorn versus Gimli versus Frodo. We didn't want to make a game where it's like one player is, Sauron and Saruman playing against one guy playing Frodo and someone else playing Gimli. We felt like it just didn't feel thematically within what we wanted to do as well. So I felt like, looking at the tabletop experience, we really wanted to keep that feeling, that passion, and that strong narrative element, and bring that into the digital world. So that's not to say down the road we aren't looking at other options. We depending on the success of this game, we definitely want to add more features down the road. But our core game experience, the thing we're embracing for this game, is that co-op single-player experience.
Mm-hmm. So what does the end game of this look like after I've, let's say I've completed a campaign? How am I gonna keep playing the game?
Sure. So we haven't talked a lot about it yet because we're still diving into early access. But once full release happens, our plan is to continually release new content in seasons. So every quarter we want to put out a new campaign. Every quarter we want to put out new heroes. We want to put out new cards. So we want this to be a continually evolving game, so there's always something for you to play. And that's part of the reason why, for instance, in the quests, you'll be able to buy quests in the game, but the first quest of every campaign is always free. So even if you drop out of the game for a while, the game will continually update. So if you come back to it, you can try out the quests, the campaigns you like, by trying out the first quests of those. So there's always going to be new content. There's always going to be something coming down the pike for people to play. So if you play and you just fall away for a little while, you come back, there's going to be more and new stuff, new features. We want to, this is a living card game, so we definitely want to keep people in the game.
Mm-hmm. And how does scoring factor into that multiplayer experience that we're going to have? Is there going to be a way for me to compare my scores to other players or my friends list or anything like that?
Yeah, we definitely want to have a scoring system and leaderboard. You'll be able to compare you with your friends.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're still premature talking on a lot of the co-op features,
mm-hmm.
because that's something that we're still in development on. But
mm-hmm.
the thing is we want players to be able to share with their friends what their leaderboards are, what their scores are, and evolve the game over time within that co-op framework.
Yeah, I think it's time now, after all that, to talk a little bit about the giant eye of Sauron in the room, if you will, which would be the Palantir, which is something that we have not gone into detail talking about yet. And we're not quite ready to show it yet, I believe, but we are ready to talk a little bit about how it's going to work, correct?
Yeah, I think we can talk about the Palantir.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the Palantir here.
So actually, and we're ready to talk a little bit about the economics all around.
I think this is going to be a lead-in.
A very general level. We'll go. So before I dive into that, let's just say, so the reason we haven't dived deeply into how these systems work is because we're still evolving them internally. We're still discussing them internally. So we don't want to go out there and say, oh, well, this is going to cost X, and this is going to be, it's going to include this, because we're still debating and discussing and refining, because this is kind of an experiment for us. We're creating a co-op single-player game, and we've gotten a lot of questions about, well, how are you going to make money? And we're going to make money by selling hero packs. We're going to make money by selling quests within the campaign network. You'll always get that first quest free, but you'll buy the other quests within the campaign. You'll always be able to just spend Valor points on those. You'll always be able to get hero packs and quest packs and individual Valor cards through Valor points. So there always will be that option. But at the same time, we are a business, and we do need to keep the lights on and get you a better cable. And, take care of ourselves as a company. So, I mean, we do need to sell things in order to make money. So you'll be able to spend Valor on everything, but we also will be selling hero packs, we'll be selling quests. And we have something called the Palantir. Now, what is the Palantir? And I don't want to dance around it. I feel like we have to be very upfront about this. Palantir is a loot box system, but it's a parallel loot box system. There is nothing dependent within it. We've tried very hard to keep it from being something that's a requirement, or the only way to get these cards is through the Palantir. The Palantir is an accelerant. It is a separate system. You will get free Palantir views when playing the game, so it won't be entirely exclusive to money. You'll be able to buy Palantir views, but you'll also get free Palantir views. And what it does is it basically, if I don't want to grind through and get a legendary card, I could get a Palantir and take that Palantir view, and I might get that legendary card for free.
So I can spend real world money, or I can spend Valor on these?
You can spend real world money on these, you can spend Valor on these, you can buy Palantir through Valor, or you can buy it through real world money. And it gives you Valor points, it gives you cards. Also, our cosmetics will be available through the Palantir as well. So things like avatars, things like card backs will be available through there as well.
So I'm never going to have any content in terms of cards locked with behind the Palantir, correct?
There is no cards locked behind the Palantir. There's no cards locked behind the Palantir. Quests are entirely separate, so you don't get quests through the Palantir. Nothing is required through the Palantir. You can ignore it if you wish to. Everything is earnable through Valor points. With the sole exception at this point of being the cosmetics, which are available through the Palantir. And then you get Palantir views as rewards for play. So you'll still get free Palantir views. But we want to be upfront with people that this, I don't want to dance around it and say, oh well, you're not. There isn't this system here, but at the same time, we're trying to make it something that is, I realize loot boxes are controversial, but there's no way around it. Without, we've been looking at it very closely and how we refine it, how we package it, and how we put it in the game in such a way that it's not considered predatory. It's not something that players are like, oh shit, I have to go through Palantir to get X, Y, and Z.
So what about when I buy a card pack? Am I going to know what's in that card pack when I buy those?
Absolutely. So that doesn't change any of our philosophy on getting what you want. So if I go into the Valor menu, I buy just what's in the Valor menu. And if I go into the hero packs, I know, okay, I'm going to get this hero and I'm going to get these 4 cards. And so, let's go into hero packs. A hero pack always consists of a hero and 4 cards, 1 from each of the spheres that are available. So you'll always have those 5 cards, the hero and then the 4 other cards. And you know exactly what is in that pack. And you spend money on those, or you spend Valor to buy those. So there's still no randomization there. If you want to buy the quests, you know what quests you're buying. You're like, okay, I want to buy, this is the campaign, I'm going to buy these quests that go along with it. You don't randomly get a quest, you don't randomly get a hero or a card. If you go into the Valor menu, it is a listing of every card in the Valor menu, and you buy the Valor cards that you wish to get. So there's no change from our philosophy and the tabletop philosophy of you get what you pay for. There is a separate system known as the Palantir, though, that if you get it as a reward in the game, you can spend it and you will get additional Valor, you will get bonuses, and you will get you might get a Valor card that you don't have to grind for because you got it through the Palantir system.
So basically the Palantir is an accelerant if I choose to spend my Valor or real world money there. That way it's a little bit quicker than if I just had to play to grind up that Valor, correct?
Exactly.
Okay. So that's how that system is going to work. So you mentioned a little bit about hero packs and Valor cards. I think we want to talk a little bit about those, please, right?
Yeah, so Valor cards, so there's 2 ways to get cards. Well, 3 ways if you consider the Palantir. But as you know, I want to be absolutely clear, there are no cards in the Palantir that cannot be gotten through the core systems of the hero packs or the Valor system. So the Valor card system is a separate set of cards that are not in hero packs.
Okay.
These are individual cards that are just in the Valor menu that are only purchasable with Valor points. You can't spend real world money on them. You have to spend Valor points that you earn through play or through the Palantir on those cards. There are rarities to them. The rarities are denote a couple of different things. The rarity basically denotes it's a bit of a power level. The more powerful cards are higher rarity, but it's also how many of that type of card are in a particular set. So for instance, a legendary card in a particular set, there may only be like 4 legendary cards where there may be, say, 20 uncommon cards. There is a distinct number. So the common cards, there's more of those types. Those are lower cost, lower capability cards. Then you have uncommon, you have rare, and then you have legendary. So within the Valor menu, you pick the card you want. You say, okay, I want this particular card. It's of this rarity level, and then you spend your Valor points on it.
Okay.
You can't pay cash for it. It is something that's strictly through Valor points, and they exist strictly aside from the ones you get through the hero packs.
Okay, awesome. Well, that's good news. So it's always going to be fixed. If I buy a Valor card, I'm paying for Valor for it, but I'm not spending real world money on Valor. Valor is earned within the
Valor
game,
is
correct?
only earned through the system, yes.
Awesome. Okay, so that's the significance of rarity too. And are Sauron's cards going to be rarity? Is there a rarity to those? Is that rarefied?
Well, the rarity system for Sauron's card is Sauron. He has one rarity, and that's Sauron. Because you don't play those cards. It's an asymmetric system. Sauron has his own deck of cards, his own abilities. He doesn't buy cards behind the scenes. He makes them. He forges them.
Okay, cool. So we've got that all done. So we could move into the Q&A, or do you want to talk a little bit about some of the heroes that we're going to be seeing in these other hero packs?
Why don't we give an idea what the heroes are going to be in the hero packs,
Okay.
and then we can go into some of the Q&A as well.
Okay, so let's do
So,
that.
folks, I realize a lot of people are asking questions. Hang on to them. We will do Q&A at the end here. So hold on just a bit.
Yep. Okay, so we can either jump right into the menu here, or I could go unlock them. We could jump behind a screen, unlock them, and show them if you'd like. It's up to you how you
Why
want
don't
to
we
do
show
that.
them? Why don't we show them
The purchase screen, or?
Yeah.
Okay. So when I go in to buy a hero pack, I'm going to go in here. You're going to see some numbers on the screen as well. None of those numbers are going to be final either, guys, in terms of both Valor and real world cost, correct?
Correct. The pricing, the reason why we haven't said, oh, well, these cards cost this much and these cards cost that much, those numbers are still varying. So right now, in development, there are placeholder numbers. So what you see, you're going to be like, what? What's that? It's nothing right now. We will come back and give you the final pricing and that sort of thing down the road.
Oh, okay. Well, let's jump in and look at the heroes that are going to be available in the hero packs within early access. So here we are.
So why don't you dive into a hero pack and let's show them. So let's just talk about them here. The packs that are available are the Rangers of Gondor. That has Faramir as a hero. And he brings along with him 4 individual hero cards that go along with his pack. We'll show those at a later date, I think. But for now, we'll just show you the packs. Then we have Faithful Servant with Sam Gamgee.
Excuse me. What sphere is Faramir going to be part of? I believe he's lore, correct?
You're stumping me here.
He is lore. Yeah, that was a leading question, folks. But yeah, Faramir is going to be lore. He's a lore hero
I
here.
do know Sam Gamgee is on the Spirit.
Yep, he's leadership actually.
Oh, is he
Sam's
leadership?
going to be leadership now.
So you're stumping me. on this.
But speaking of Spirit, Eowyn.
Eowyn, yes. Eowyn is the 3rd pack, and each of these packs contains the hero who is pictured. So you got Faramir, Sam, and Eowyn, and then 4 individual cards that come with them. And then let's show them what the last one is.
The last one is going to be
Legolas.
of the tactics sphere. So yeah, Legolas is going to be the last of the hero cards available for these hero packs in these initial ones. So yeah, those are going to be our initial heroes that are available, right?
Those are the initial packs that will be available, yes.
Awesome. Cool.
So
yeah, we will show them in the upcoming weeks here. I believe I'm going to be building some decks with some of these heroes before we when we get started next week, and before we get kicked into the Thursday stream. So on Tuesday, we're going to be able to show some of these new heroes on stream.
So these are the 4 packs that will be available at early access. Once we launch, however, there will be additional hero packs after that. So I think we're currently targeting having 12 additional hero packs available at full release.
Awesome. Very exciting. So those are what we're looking at for early access. We wanted to give those. We are not quite ready to show what those cards are going to do, but that's a kind of a tease for Tuesday. No, Sam is actually going to be leadership McDog. We misspoke there, and yes, you're correct, Vive, that Eowyn is spirit and Sam is leadership is the plan right now. Correct. So that's what those are going to be. What else do we have here to talk about today? Was there anything else that you wanted to go into before we did Q&A?
No, let's dive in, because I think people have questions and they want to know.
Awesome. So go ahead and start hitting us with those questions in the chat, guys, and we'll answer them to the best of our ability today. I know we dumped a lot of information on you here today, and that's going to be a lot to process. Go ahead and ask us questions within the Steam forum. If you if you have anything that needs clarification post-stream here. So hopefully we'll be able to answer some of those stuff today. But we just wanted to get some stuff out of the way, get some stuff out in the public that we've been talking about behind closed doors with press and stuff like that, and make sure that you guys are the first line of information on all this stuff too. So we've got our first question here asking about the ranking system. Are there going to be rewards from season to season that will change based on how I do within these campaigns?
Well, that's something we're still working out. Honestly, we don't have the final system for how things are going to carry over from season to season. So I think that's something that I'm not prepared yet to talk about just yet. We are taking that into account, and we do have ideas on that, but we'll talk about that down the road.
Yep. Somebody's asking here about what I can get in the Palantir. So what are my rewards going to be within the Palantir?
So in the Palantir, it chooses from a couple of different, you always get 2 rewards. It chooses from 2 different lists. One is mainly Valor points. You get Valor points from it. The other is cards. So you'll get cards from the Valor list. So it basically accelerates the Valor list. So you might get a common, you might get an uncommon, you might get a rare, you might get a legendary. Again, none of those cards are exclusive to the Palantir. They're all available directly from the Valor menu. It's just it's a way for you to get them in an accelerated fashion.
Right, since I can't buy Valor.
Right. You also might get Valor and a new card back, or you might get a new avatar.
A lot of people have been asking about this. People are asking about duplicate cards within the Palantir. Is that something that can happen?
So no, the system, only if you only have one of them. The system only allows you to have 2. You can have up to 2 cards in your decks. So once you have 2 of a card, that's it. You don't need to buy any more.
I'm never going to see another copy of that?
You will not see another copy of that. So you will not get, we're not going to spam you with, hey, I already had 2 of these. Here's a third one that you can't do anything with. It's not going to be anything like that. It does actually check you. It does check your decks. It checks your system to see if you already have it. So if it's going to give you, like, let's say I have 2 of Guard the Citadel, it's not going to give you a third one that you can't do anything with.
Cool. And you're already going to have 2 of specifically Guard of the Citadel, but in terms of the Valor cards,
no, but
right?
in terms of the Valor cards themselves, yes.
Is there a price that you are looking at for conversion to Valor to real world money, anything like that, or what's going on?
We're still playing with the economics of it, so it's something that I think we aren't really prepared to talk about. It's something we want to make sure that it's sustainable, but at the same time being accessible to players. We don't want something, we obviously don't want a system where people have to grind to get the lowest level stuff.
Yeah.
That's no fun. That's no fun for anybody. We want to make it so that it feels accessible, that as I'm playing, I'm getting enough points, I'm getting enough reward factor that I feel like, it's fun and engaging and it keeps me coming back. In terms of pricing, conversion, that's just something I think we're still playing with internally.
Are we going to be having a roadmap available for what early access is going to look like and how we're going to be adding features to early access? Is that something that we're planning on doing?
I think that's something that I'm definitely going to be talking to the guy who will be making that happen, which is you. And we do actually have an initial roadmap, one of the biggest being, of course, cooperative coming online. But part of it is also just based on you, the players, and getting us your feedback, because that will be a big factor in what we do during early access.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are talking about roadmaps. The reason that we haven't shared anything yet, folks, is that we really want to get an idea for what the game is going to look like on early access before we decide on how those features are going to be rolled out and in what time. So there will be a pretty comprehensive roadmap coming up soon, but just not right now. It's not out yet. It's basically where we're at with it.
So Perfect Wall asks, so if you have all the commons, you never pull a common. That is correct. If you don't, if you have all the commons, it's also a deterministic system, so you get everything in the list essentially until it resets.
So okay, and then some other people are talking about buying a hero pack more than once.
No, you can't buy a hero pack more than once. You can only buy one once because you only get one hero. Unlike other cards, you only get one hero. You don't get. There's no reason to have two Eowyn's or two Gimlis. You will only get two of all the other cards.
So I'm never going to have to worry about opening duplicates or anything like that, or if I make the mistake of buying a pack twice.
Right. No, you can't mistakenly buy a pack twice. We take care of that. And so, like, let's say I buy the Eowyn pack. If I click on it again, it's not going to let me buy it again.
Oh, Engage here asked about how many hero packs are going to be available throughout early access. Is that 12 by the end of early access, or only just what's available in the shop?
We're still sorting that out. It depends on how early access goes. If it starts going long, we'll start unveiling more stuff. We'll start releasing more stuff. I mean, our intention is to stay in early access not terribly long.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, things happen. If we have to go long, then we'll start releasing more material. The goal is by full release, we'll have 12 additional packs, so there will be 16 available at full release.
So we very much don't want to be a game that lives and dies in early access, and we are making sure that the content released during early access makes sense to prevent us from ever doing that, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the big deals for us, is that we don't do that. So people have been asking also about alternate art cards and like foil cards, things like that. Is that something you're thinking about at all?
Yeah, we definitely are. But that's something I think that would probably be more in full release. We want to do special versions of the cards. We want to do things that are alt art. Those are all things we definitely want to do, but it's something that I think it's down the road.
Yeah, okay.
So co-op, is it possible to play with friends who have purchased Quest Pack, but my friend didn't? So that's something we're still sorting out.
Yeah, the co-op questions, guys, most of that stuff's going to be happening during early access, and those logistics are going to come too. So yeah, that is something that we can't really
because
answer
it's
yet.
also a technical question. Because we have to, if we say yes, then we have to figure out how to make it happen. So it's both a technical and a financial question. So, do we allow you to play if your friend has it? That's something that we basically have to figure out in the co-op.
Awesome
Functionality.
Is there anything else that you wanted to go over? I think we're going to start wrapping up here a little bit.
Sure. So let's see. Is there anything else? What if we answer that one?
This is his reading the chat voice, just so you guys know. This is
by reading the chat voice. And I noticed somebody also had mentioned Spicy Aragorn again. Thank you very
he's
much.
back, of course.
I'm glad you remembered that. That was awesome.
Oh, Pete Crichton's asking about higher level heroes, things that you'll need, like I have a second or third hero of that sphere to include them. So how does the sphere system work for heroes? I can always put a hero within my deck right now, right?
You can always put a hero within your deck. In terms of how spheres work with levels of cards, so there's level 1 card, level 2 card, and level 3 card. A level 1 card means that you can play it with only one hero of that type in your deck. You have to have at least one, though. So if I've got Sam Gamgee in my deck, I have to have, and he's my hero, I have to have, I can play any level 1 card that goes along with Sam Gamgee. Level 2 cards, you have to have 2 of the same type of hero, same sphere. And level 3 cards, you have to have 3 of that sphere in order to play it.
So sphere level always affects the cards in my deck, not the heroes that I can bring, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So that kind of clarifies that there, too. Some people are asking if it's going to be always online. It currently is an always online game that is planned for the build so that we can have you connected to asmodee.net. So it's going to happen.
It's also for your card management system. So it's always online so that if you play it, I'm playing on a PC, and then eventually when we go onto mobile platforms, it'll carry over directly so that it's checking into the online system. All of your cards carry over then. That's how we'll allow you to play on multiple platforms but have one single account.
Pete Crichton's asking about heroes having no levels. That's correct. The deck builder currently has a pip system on the bottom there. That is not something that's going to be integrated in the full. Does it have a pip system on the bottom? I'm not sure if it does.
No. For heroes?
Yep. Oh, there is a level
but they're all considered level 1.
Yep, that level there is just because of their color identity, so
Right.
that you can take a look at those.
It just reinforces their color identity. There is no level for heroes, so there's no like level 2 Aragorn or level 3 Gimli or anything like that. It's just if it only affects the cards you can purchase, the level of the individual Valor cards.
So the last thing that I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about was favor cards, because that system's changed. Now, we don't have to really go into details, but can you give us a quick overview?
Because it's not in yet. One of the things is, I know we got a lot of feedback on the favor card system. It's a new system that we've implemented that was not available in the tabletop. It's a new concept. It's a bonus card. It's sort of a get out of jail free card, a save my bacon card that allows you to play it as a 0 resource card that'll give you, it'll give you a new resource, it'll drop the threat level, it'll give you health, that sort of thing. We were talking at one point about selling those cards as packs, but after reflecting and rethinking the system, we're actually going to make favor cards something that's completely free to the user. So what's going to happen is, at the beginning of each match, if I play on easy level, it'll show me the cards that are available. So every season we will make 3 favor cards available, and they will change up each season. So what'll happen is, if I play on easy level, it'll show me the 3 cards. I pick 2 of the cards that I want to take with me. If I play on medium level, I can pick 1 card and bring it with me, and that goes. It doesn't count against your deck. So if I have a 30-card deck, it's basically a 31st card, and on easy level, I could have a 32nd card. And then on hard level, you're on your own. You don't get a favor card. Too bad for you. So and that'll be across every game. So you can ignore it. You can skip it if you don't want. If you feel like you don't need it. And so it is basically just a bonus system. There's no cost involved. It doesn't go into your inventory. It's just that every season we will be premiering different favor cards.
So basically, the long and short of it is, there's no monetization that's going to go into the favor cards anymore. They're taken out of the monetization system, right?
That is correct.
And instead, they are now tied to difficulty level, and they are still optional at all those difficulty levels, correct?
Correct. Well, They're not optional. You don't get them at hard level.
Sure, you don't have an option once you get to hard, but okay, awesome. I see some people are asking about some stuff with the tabletop. We can't comment on anything in tabletop, folks. And then some people are also talking about Saga, some of the other expansions that we might do in the future, and like where we are at with the LOTOR license. So are we just doing LOTOR and Hobbit? Questions like that. We can't really go into that either, folks, but we can say that we are expecting to kind of brush the same scope that we had in the tabletop, right?
Right. So, I mean, our license covers everything that the tabletop game covers, which is mainly based on the books, the Lord of the Rings books. But beyond that, I mean, that's more of a licensing question for our licensing department. But if it was covered in the tabletop game, we have the ability to cover it in our digital game as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Tim.
Sure.
I think that about covers everything that we're going to be able to cover today. As always, folks, you can find us online at Twitter at FFI_games. You can find us here on twitch.tv/FFI games. Like I said, those archive streams are going to start going live pretty soon here. We have the first one up, and the other ones should be coming shortly. My internet connection notwithstanding. We are also going to be on Facebook.com/FFI games, where you can find us and talk to us there. And then you can also find us on the Steam community, answering some questions, talking to other. You can also meet some other people who connect with some other fans of the game. And thank you so much for being welcoming to people who are new on Steam and people who are new to the tabletop experience too. It has been really heartwarming to see people bring people from across those communities. And I'm
I
really
think that's
glad
one of
to
the
see
coolest part of the tabletop community for the Lord of the Rings LCG is that it is really a welcoming and I think a family, like a big connected family.
Yeah,
of people.
absolutely. And thank you guys so much for joining us, especially the people who are starting for the first time. Who joined us for the first time today. That is great to see you, and I'm glad you joined us for this Q&A. If you want to see gameplay of Lord of the Rings, you can check out some of our archive streams. You can also join us next Tuesday, where I'm going to be showing one of the new hero cards, as well as some of the cards that are in those hero packs.
Awesome.
And I'm going to be doing some gameplay there. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Have a good one, and enjoy the rest of your week, and we will see you on Tuesday.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now.